Alright, let me set this back up. And just get the chat open here. And I think we're good to go. Yep, good to go. Let me just post the link in the Discord. Okay. So where did we end today? 73% Diamond 3. Means it shouldn't take... Hey, Brestwick. We're just starting up. Going into our first game here. Just got a comment on one of my YouTube videos saying that they're stuck gold, but my videos are helping them out. I hope so. Thanks, Louis. Alright, so what did we decide we're going to do? We're going to do one small drift and one small drift. That's about what we're allowed to do for this rank. And then one bigger drift in this section, I think we decided. Because there's no walls around us. We're pretty confident that people can drift with no walls around them. No chain drifting like this guy's going to do up here. Just driving in straight lines. We're going to drift in the tunnel. And then again, back to straight lines. Drift around here because there's literally nothing around us. Look at that! They all know kind of that shortcut route now. That's kind of cool. Again, one small drift. That's all we're capable of. This is our low mechanics climb. One single big turn in here. And by big, I still mean like medium size. Obviously, we still do it significantly faster normally. But driving in a straight line for most of it is still enough to win at this rank. Like, everyone that goes through the tunnel does that little drift. Since they know that shortcut, we're going to do that shortcut too, even though we're allowed to do shortcuts even if they don't know them, as long as they're low mechanics. So one small drift, and one small drift. We have confidence that every Diamond player can in fact do tiny little drifts occasionally. Just like this guy, we can do one drift throughout here. Then we're just back to driving in a straight line. Driving in a straight line for most of the map is enough to get to Elite. Again, we drift on the turns, that's all we're doing. Full turbos, but that's okay. We're gonna wait to use them until we're in an ideal spot. Oh wait, we're lap 3? What the heck? Okay, my bad, my bad. Okay, we kind of trolled a little bit, huh? Okay, well that should have obviously been a first. That was our warm-up game. We forgot that we had 3 turbos at the end. I don't normally do that. I normally keep pretty good awareness of what lap we're on. Okay, so that was definitely a first with minimal drifting. I know we got second, but that's just because we forgot what lap we're on. Like a true Diamond player. The mechanics of being able to look what lap we're on. It's outside my skill cap. Alright, we're gonna pay attention. Someone's got to keep track of for me what lap we're on. Apparently I'm incapable. Hopefully it's a good map for us. Still feel awkward on maps like Anaconda and Sidewinder. It's kind of the same boat when I did my no turbo. Those kind of maps feel a little weird when I say no mechanics. What is this load time? It's gonna kick us back to the menu and say connection problem, I'm assuming. This has been happening more and more. Has it happened to other people? Like since the latest update, they've been having this connection problem. I bet you it's made people quit the game too. Because there's no real reason we should be loading in at this speed. We've got fast internet, fast computer. It's gonna be real annoying if it doesn't kick me out though. Because then we're just gonna be stuck in a loading screen. And if we leave, probably to lose points. If we don't leave, we're gonna be stuck forever. We'll give it like 30 more seconds, and then I guess drifting's the top 100 mechanic. I believe it. Honestly, I do believe it. Like properly drifting. Derby Canyon 1. You want to see the drifting mechanics that we've unlocked, Tone Star, at this rank? Like, we got the bonk tech drifting here. I'm excited to show it off at the start of this one. No, I agree. Like proper drifting, like it feels so different. Like drifting through like Riviera, like properly. Alright, straight line tech. And then bonk tech. Look at us go. We're doing it. I'm pretty confident they can drive into the wall repeatedly. Also, that guy ahead of us, what the heck is that? Like, this dude's obviously hella smurfing. On the ground, we drift. Only once we're in secure spots. What the? Yeah, what is with people? Are they really this good? We're only drifting on like major turns though. That's all we're doing. But yeah, that first dude, nowhere to be seen. He was like hard smurfing. We're not confident drifting through here because drifting's too hard. So we're only going to drift after we're on a straight line. And only then a little bit. You know? Unfortunately, the catch-up mechanic for us is going to work in their favor, not ours. And again, bump tech. We drift into the wall on repeat because we're not mechanical. But we're mechanical enough to accidentally drift into a wall. We're not mechanical enough to drift there. We wait till we're soundly on the ground, and then we just turn. Can't really mess it up if you wait till you're on the ground. Same with here. One small drift on that turn. That's it. Yeah, rank 1's probably going to finish way ahead of everyone, because I'd say he's a pretty high-ranked Smurf, in fact, based on his mechanics. But again, so this guy's drifting. We're not comfortable drifting. We're going to wait until we're in the middle of the lane. And that's the only place we feel comfortable drifting. And again, mechanics to be able to drive into a wall. That's about all I have faith for them to do. I'm not trying to drift, honestly. I was actually trying not to. I think it's more work to not try to drift there than it is to drift. The game is really trying to force me to. And again, only for the big turns do we do any drifting. Again, we can't drift this turn. It might be a bit too complicated, so we just drive in a straight line. And then do 2 small drifts in the straight line section. And then use the turbo at the end. Hopefully we don't get over where that was again in our lobbies, because the dude's obviously... Let's see what his score is. 230? Yeah, I mean... Let's take a look. Yeah, 2:30 would put him right now, if he submitted that time, 5th on the leaderboards of speedrun.com. Just for some context of how much that guy's smurfing. So I would guess that he's a top 100 player smurfing. And hopefully we don't hit again, because otherwise this climb's going to be a little bit slower if we have to constantly go against him. Yes, that is how it works, Josh. We have people in our Discord sometimes do the in-houses, and they'll be like 15-20 seconds faster than the usual, because they'll be racing with a couple of the fast people. I'm not exactly positive how it works. I should do some like actual math on it at some point for a video. That is a good question. Exactly how the kitchen mechanic works. Okay, luckily he's not in our game this time, so it's not going to be, crazy. Our main focus is to do smaller drifts than everyone else in the lobby. So less impressive drifts than everyone. Controller? Hello? What is happening? Wait. Game? Oh, this is the bug, hey? Because my pause button works. It's literally the bug in game where you just get screwed. Huh. There's nothing you can do about it. My controller's working fine. That's why this works. In here, look, the inputs work here. But even if I go to the menu... Yeah, even in the menu, my R buttons work. Just here it doesn't. It's a game with no bugs at all, huh? We take that. Amazing, pretty fun. We're gonna go queue into another game just to check. Where it doesn't really matter what map. So we're just making sure that it doesn't immediately disable our controls again. Yeah, I've seen people complaining about it on Reddit. Saying that it happens to them. At first I thought my controller just wasn't plugged in, but all the buttons work and it works in the menu. So we're just gonna drive for like 4 seconds here. Now we can see our cars lighting up now, but again, we'll just make sure we can drive forward. If we can, we'll go back to ranked. I mean, when I said no mechanics, I didn't honestly think I meant driving forward. The game's keeping me honest, what can I say? Watch me hit Unreal without driving forward. What happens if there's a ranked race and no one moves off the spawn? Like, can you get a tie like that? Tie my way all the way to Unreal? Alright, so whatever rank winner we're about to get, we're going to get 0% for it, I think. Or lose points for it. So even if we win, we're going to lose. All but one person quit. Yeah, I just keep queuing with a group of like 11. They all quit, I get to Unreal with never moving at all. When I said no mechanics, I meant no mechanics. We ain't moving an inch. Cars out of gas. Alright, our taillights are working. Alright, Cliff Runner 2, we're going to do the same kind of stuff as Cliff Runner 1. We're going to hug the inside wall, and that's it. So one small drift, and then we're going to just jump up and hug the inside wall. So we're just sitting along the left side of the track, right up against it. Not going for the extra boost pads, we're just hugging the left-hand side wall. We don't feel comfortable drifting in this section, so we're just going to drive in a straight line through this area. After we're past the lava, we feel comfortable doing one drift. Once our wheels are on the ground, we feel comfortable doing a drift. Nowhere before, no drifting over tricky areas. Louis said I have to miss one of these because diamond players apparently can't get all of those. I'm going to drive in a straight line because mechanically moving up and down might be considered too hard. Again, we're going to wait till we're in a straight line, then do a small drift, die, and now I think we're at the mechanics of a diamonds player. If we can still place after this, you have no excuses. Again, just hug the inside wall, drift. Honestly, it's just about the same amount of work to hit that boost pad and not hit that boost pad, but you kind of have to avoid it. But again, we're not drifting until we're past the lava. Once we're past it, we can do a small one, and once we're on the rocks here, we feel comfortable drifting too. We'll miss this one 2 out of 3 laps, I think. And again, obviously they all feel comfortable moving up and down, but all we feel comfortable is doing one small drift. That's all we feel comfortable doing. So we're low mechanics. Again, one small drift. We're going to save our turbos to the end. We use this long straightaway, not do a chain drift, but again, one small micro drift. And we're going to go in, drive in a straight line through here, and then after we're past the lava, we can drift, and after we're solidly on the ground, we can drift. Those are very easy spots to drift. Here, we're going to miss that again. And here, we're going to drive in a straight line again, because we're not mechanical enough to move up and down. We're also not mechanical enough to drift us. Only once we're in a straight line do we feel comfortable being able to do a small little drift. There you go. Very, very safe strats. Only drifting when we're very comfortable, nowhere near lava, or firmly on the ground, nothing to crash into. Missing the boost pads 2 out of the 3 laps. And on the other section, not going for 3 out of 3, only going for 2 out of 3 because it's a straight line. And you have faith that you can get to elite with mostly straight lines. That seemed fair to everyone for mechanics? I don't think there's a single diamond player that could see that and be like, I couldn't do that. I think what a lot of diamond players struggle with, and elites, is doing overly complicated lines. Or overly... yeah, exactly. It's just about keeping a level head and waiting until you're in areas that are very safe to drift. If they're safe to drift, well, you're not going to die. You're not going to crash. You're not going to lose speed. So you know you can consistently gain speed in those spots. Olympus, we're going to have to do a little bit more drifting, because there's just huge turns that are designed for drifting. But we're not going to do anything fancy. Like, nothing that a Platinum player couldn't do. So that includes just driving in a straight line to start. Straight line tech is often overpowered. And they've been drifting around here since Gold. And then we're just going to float. We're not going to drift until we're safely near the top. Once we're near the top, we can drift. Same with here. These are really big drifting areas. We wait till we're in the middle of them, and that's the only places we're allowed to drift. Wait till we're near the top, drift. And then just press your jump button. It's one single press of your jump button, and you just fall down. You float down. Like, it doesn't require any steering, aiming, thrusters, turbos, none of that. Again, we don't have the mechanics to drift, so we're just kind of going to float our car around the tube until we get to there. Obviously we can't drift this, that'd be pretty mechanical, so instead we'll just drive in a straight line. Yeah, do I mention that every single time? But yeah, you're right. Tilt your analog stick back in order to maintain your nose floating in the air, if you don't know that. Again, we're not going to drift early, we're going to wait till we're at the very top so we have no way to fall, and then you just tap your jump button after you finish drifting. We'll even bump into the wall to assume that you can't hit it every single time. Once you're near the top, drift, wait till you're straight, then just press jump. Just make sure you take your time, wait till you're straight, and you're good to go. Again, we don't have the mechanics to drift on this tube, even though it's not particularly hard. I'm pretty sure every single player at this run can. But we're going to say we can't, and we can just hover around there instead. And the over-drifting, or drifting at the wrong spots, or stuff like that, is the only reason that I'm ahead of everyone. Right? We're just tilting our nose up, and we're just kind of hovering across. Waiting until we're near the top, drifting less than the average person. We're in a straight line, you press the jump button. Take your time, wait till you're in a straight line. We'll mess up the drift again, because again, we're only Diamond Elite. Maybe we can't hit the giant free turns consistently. It's a shame we don't know how to drift over here, because if we did, we'd have an extra one. But we don't know how. It doesn't matter too much. We did significantly less drifting probably than the average person. We just know the two very easy to execute shortcuts, which is once you're straight, rather than just driving in a straight line down, press a single jump button. And pressing the single jump button allows you to float down. You don't have to do any fancy air rolls, fancy drifts, fancy anything. Alright, what map we got next? Alright, Cliffhanger 2 again. Crazy how easy it is? I mean, honestly, it's just about being safe and consistent. That's all you need to be able to climb. And if you're playing safe, it's easy to be consistent. That's exactly what I'm showing. I'm just showing that good routes, executed with minimal mechanics, is enough. My goal is unreal. Like, we'll have to add slightly more mechanics as we climb up, obviously. But like, one small baby drift to start, like they all do, and then we just drive again in a straight line on the inside track. This is a really easy route. And hitting that extra boost pad right there is just as easy as not hitting it. Like, it's literally right there. You actually have to swerve to avoid it. I'm pretty sure your car will naturally hit it. But again, we just don't drift until we're past the lava. When we're past the lava, it's safe to do one drift. Wait till our wheels are solidly here. We got lots of time. There's no rush to drift. And again, I was told by Louis that to miss at least one of those sometimes because, I don't know, apparently hitting 3 in a row is too tricky. And again, we're just going to drive in a straight line. Just sitting in a straight line, still in a straight line, not drifting any of this, and then one small drift. That's all the mechanics we have. Wait till we're on the road, one small drift. All the mechanics we need is doing one small drift like this occasionally. Besides that, again. Yeah, we'll keep avoiding it even though it's just as easy to get. It's fine. And again, we're not drifting. We're just kind of looking for this massive gap in the depth zone. And then only once we're safe. Only once we're safe on the ground. Those are the only times we're doing it. And again, the only way we're faster than them is because we're not doing the same level of risky stuff that they're doing. Because they're hitting lava. We're not drifting around the big turns. We're not getting any drift meter that's more than like, what, half a second? Like, how long is this? And I'm pretty positive everyone can hug this inside track here. There's like no lava on it, except for at the very end there's one beam, which is very easy to avoid. Again, only after we're past the lava. And again, here only once we're safely on the ground. We're going to still assume that we can only hit 2 of the 3, even though we're pushing into elite. We're going to assume we can't swerve up and down. We're going to assume we can't drift this. Just one small drift after we've straightened out. That's all the mechanics we have. Again, one small drift. That's all the mechanics we have. I should go off to the side rather than through the hole. It's about the same amount of speed. It's actually probably better to show that route because it's a lot more safe. That's 4 seconds faster. And again, it's mostly just straight lines as much as possible. Minimal drifting. Low risk, high reward, apparently. The problem is, how do we get this knowledge to all the diamond people, or soon-to-be elite people, on Reddit, that are all hard stuck? Because even though we do this guide, that'll basically guarantee you able to climb if you're that rank and you watch this. I don't know how we spread that knowledge. Because it really is just that easy. Just to drive in straight lines pretty well the entire time for most maps. Like, almost no drifting. And then I say that and we get a map that's literally a figure 8 full of drifting. So needless to say, we're not going to do any of the shortcuts. I guess we'll kind of see what the other people are doing to see what's allowed, and then we'll do less than that. So we'll do a drift around the first turn, because it's a pretty wide turn with a slant, so it's pretty hard to bonk. Last time we just drove through about 500 pieces of lava. So again, yeah, we'll drift around here just like they do. We'll even bonk just because we'll give them the benefit of the doubt that somehow. So again, we don't know how to carry a drift, so we're going to let go. We're going to drift and then let go. So we still haven't learned the mechanic of being able to hold a drift in the air. Even though to me, that's more knowledge than mechanics. And we'll drive on the coals. So again, we don't know how to carry it. Even though they all know how to carry it, we don't know how. Meaning we get 0 speed. Maybe we can do one small drift, and that's about all we're capable of. We're just going to float this whole turn instead of drifting, because we don't know how to drift. Smash into a wall, because we don't know how to control the speed. We just drift through the lava, because somehow we forgot how to jump, because we're low mechanics. It seem mechanical enough? Are they able to drive through lava? Again, all we do is jump up in the air and float around here. We're just going to float our car, since we don't know how to drift. Hit some lava, because apparently driving in a straight line is too tough. Ah, I was still aiming for top 3. I was trying to show that even if you hit a bunch of lava. Oh well, let's still climb 2 more %. Your hearing's about to get hard? Yeah, I've heard that all the way through, so... I don't know. If you haven't struggled yet, I don't think you're going to struggle too much to get it. And then you get to join the Unreal Club. Alright, what map we get next? When do longer wait times begin? I'm not sure. I mean, I don't even get games anymore. My wait times are so long. I'm not sure if you saw in the Discord, but I had like another 30-minute wait time and I gave up. That's the only reason I'm doing this series. I figure I might as well at least use my time to be productive and help people. I haven't got a ranked game in like 5 days. Okay, we're going to initiate bonk tech again. Driving straight into a wall. So we always start with one small drift, and that's about it. Then we go for the bonk tech. Into the wall we go! We're doing it! Then one small little drift, and then we just float around this turn, because we can't drift it. Even though if we just held the analog stick, it would drift. We wait till we're firmly on the ground, and then we drift. Big turns, we do one drift. We can't drift on a wall because you don't learn to do that until like gold. So we can't do that elite. Again, just small little drifts. Use one turbo since we're getting close to full. One small baby drift like we discussed. And then drift into the wall, because every high diamond player not only can drift into the wall, but is an expert at it. Okay, so we're just going to hold our analog stick here. Yeah, it literally just does the drift for us, by the way, so I don't feel too bad about doing that. Right? Like, we didn't even press the drift button. Like, everyone else is drifting all over the place. We're just doing our small little drifts. Not even doing multiple of them. Certainly no chain drifts. And again, just our one baby drift. And then our bonk tech. Obviously, if you're capable enough to not bonk 500 times, do that instead. Again, here I'm just holding the left analog stick. And it kind of just drives you around. It's not me doing anything. It's literally the game forcing me to drift. That's how easy it is to drift. Again, we can't drift here. Do our one small turn, turbo. Do our one small turn, turbo. All the turbo people fly past us. Still third with basically no drifting of any skill throughout the entire race. I don't think I've tested that per se, Josh. To me, from what I've seen, it's more the angle of the drift than the meter. That's probably not true. That's just from what I've seen. Yeah, I was pretty bummed that we didn't get Elite earlier today, so I'm like, oh, we gotta at least finish it today. Otherwise this challenge is gonna go on forever. And again, I'm not promising you get first every single game with no mechanics. Yeah, I knew what you... Sorry, I did know what you mean. Oh, the immediate boost? Like how much speed you get? Yeah, longer is better. Caps at around 800 speed. It also lasts for longer at that point, though. So again, we're going to do our one small drift. And then we're going to have faith that Diamond players / Elite players can float in a line. Do one small drift. Jump up. Float in a line. Do one small drift. And all we're doing is tilting back in our car. Nice and smoothly. And then we're going to drive in a straight line. People are going to fly past us because they're drifting. We're going to wait till we're in a safe spot. Then we're going to do our one drift. We're not skilled enough to drift around all there, so we're just going to float it. And then we're going to initiate bonk tech again because we're not capable of drifting somehow at this rink. So again, one small drift, we hop up. In here, just a small drift, nothing big. How much kilometers per hour? Yeah, as I said, about 800s were caps. A small one, I'm not sure if they have exact bars per kilometers per hour. That's your question. Again, we'll wait till we're in a safe spot. Do one drift, and then just float up over the map. Bonk into the wall. Use our turbos. Get our one small drift. Hop up in the tube. Get our one small drift. Get our one small drift. And there you go. That's all it takes. Just tiny little drifts. The only time we did a long drift is the time we constantly smashed into the wall. No, not exactly. You can get more. If your base speed was above 570 to start, and it's about around 810, 820, it also boosts stack, drifting boosts stack, so for short amounts of time you can get upwards of 1,000. Yeah, it's not quite so straightforward of an answer. But yes, in general. No mechanics, it's, depending on the map, either... I guess the gist of it is, if you're this rank, and you watch this, there's no way you could say, that's too mechanical for me. So we're using minimal mechanics, minimal drifting, minimal anything, and still climbing to Unreal. So that whatever rank you're at, and you watch the gameplay from that rank, it's dead simple. We're focusing on consistency and safe lines. And we're consistent because we're doing safe lines. Yeah, no fancy flips, no chain drifting, even up to champion. Like, no anything. We're only doing what every single person in the entire lobby will do, and then less than that. This is kind of a tricky one for it though, but we'll give it a try. So they've been all flipping to this thing since about Diamond 2, so we don't feel too bad about doing it. We never feel bad about hovering in the air, because hovering in the air is very low mechanics. Just gonna drive in a straight line. We're going to drift, and then we're going to miss the other ones and crash into a wall, because we're confident that you can at least crash into a wall at Elite. I have faith in you to be able to crash into a wall. Same with here. You might not be able to drive in a straight line, might not be able to drift proper, but you can just drift into a wall. Here, my hand is off the analog stick. It literally drives me up the wall itself. Here, we're not comfortable drifting. We'll wait till we're in a safe spot. We wait. We can't hit all these always, so we're just going to drive in a straight line. We can't drift this, so we're going to just float in the air. We can't drift, so we're just going to drive in a straight line. Because it's Elite. And I know they're like chain drifting in front of me. Don't get me wrong. And that guy air flipped. Like, I know they're doing all these mechanics. Like, yeah, they're all air flipping around. We don't need any of that. We got one drift, and then we bonk into a wall. Because again, I have faith that Elite players can smash into walls. Right? So again, our hands off the analog stick, it literally lifts us up to there naturally. So one drift, we don't try to go for the first boost pad, we wait, we go for the second one. That's it. As soon as we touch down, we're going to jump back up and just float. Yeah, exactly, using good routes in a simple way. This is a tough map for it though, because it is moderately mechanical. Like, we'll do one drift around here, because everyone does. But again, we don't know how to air flip, we don't know how to drift carry over there, we don't know how to do anything like that. We can just mostly drive in straight lines. We'll get the benefit of the doubt that they can hit that once. Considering that's not that much, but we don't give them the benefit of the doubt that they can do this even a single time. Again, my hand's off the analog stick. It literally drives you up the side of the wall itself. So that's all we're doing, is letting it bring me up there. We're not going for the first boost pad. As soon as we touch down, we're going to jump up because we don't know how to drift. And that's still enough to climb. And still do it? Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like I'm saying, you don't have to oversteer. Doing less mechanics brings you up there. More realistic turn in the boost pad. I think that's slower though. My point is, it's faster if you just drift poorly than to try for the boost pad and fail. And our goal is never to come first every single race. Our goal is to prove that you can climb to Unreal steadily, consistently, with low mechanics. Don't let the mechanics gate you. And like, obviously we're downplaying how good people are at drifting. Like, we literally drifted into the wall all 3 laps. And we never took the double boost pad on that one big drift, which is one of the biggest speed boosts of the entire thing. Yeah, mechanics just speed it up tenfold, exactly. But you can get there with good route knowledge and safe choices. We're hoping we don't see Anaconda. I think it depends on what your goal is, second tier. Like, if your goal is top 100, yeah, obviously. If your goal is get to elite, maybe not. So again, we're going to do one baby drift, and then we're just going to hug the inside of this track. No drifting, no trying to go for every boost pad. Literally just the safe inside line. The only spots we're going to drift is where there's no lava on this map. So again, one small drift, and that's all we're capable of at this rank. This rank being elite. And then we're just hugging the inside track. Not going for any boost pads that are out of our way. Just hugging the inside track. We don't feel comfortable drifting through here. So we're just going to drive in a straight line until we're past the lava. Once we're past the lava, we can do a drift. We don't feel comfortable drifting here. Once we're on the rocks firmly, we feel comfortable. I'm thinking by Elite, Louis, that they can do that, not gonna lie. Again, we don't feel comfortable weaving in and out. We feel only comfortable doing straight lines. Same with here, no drifting. Not until we're on a straightaway. Only on straightaways do we feel comfortable doing small drifts. So again, one small drift, hop up. One small drift, hop up. You got to elite? No, I'm not sure if that's to me. I mean, we're like, this is the game that gets us to elite, so yeah, it's elite. Again, we're just not drifting until we're past the lava. And not drifting until our wheels are firmly on the ground here. We get significantly less drift, just so that Louis doesn't complain too much, we'll miss one. So I can still hear him in the back of his mind being like, it's too hard. Like, weaving in and out of here is like really not very tough, but we're still not going to do it. We're not going to drift until we're in very safe spots. And then we're just going to do baby drifts. So again, not till we're on the road. Small, little drifts. Hugging the inside track, not going for any boost pads. Like, they just happen to be where our car is. We're not going for them. There's a difference. Again, this is just pretty well mostly a straight line. Only drift when there's no lava. Only drift on the rocks when it's safe. I'm good, I've convinced you? Okay. Look at the crazy mechanics. Whoa. I think we should be able to go for like that, those boost pads at least 1 out of 3 laps, but not the end of the world either way. There you go. That gets us to elite. Okay, or it doesn't. Getting really out here just trying to call me a liar. Because it's pretty easy to hit those, to be honest. Like the 3 pads. But I mean, driving in a straight line is even less mechanical. But at some point, it's almost disrespectful to tell people that elites can only drive in a straight line. Alright, have a good night. Really do need to build a bigger music library for streams. So many things I need to do that take so much time. Should have the first video that's one of my streams edited. You're a music library in your sleep? I mean, at least it's not bad, right? So again, for this map, we're going to be focusing on small drifts. Small, safe drifts. So one small drift, we'll drive in the coals even, and one small drift. Same with here. Only small drifts on here. No big ones, just small ones. Pretty hard to mess up small ones. We're just gonna drive along the road. I don't know if this is faster than floating. I don't think it is. Yeah, it's actually much slower. Good to know. I haven't been up there in a long time. Drift, driving the coals like these guys do. And then we use turbos in the long aerial sections. Almost everyone goes underneath now. I think the people that don't just don't know that there's a boost pad under here, to be honest. We'll drive in the coals because we'll even miss the pad. You know, we'll try to handicap ourselves a little bit. That way the other laps, if we hit it, we don't feel too bad. Again, just one small drift. And we just drift around these turns just like anyone else. But we're doing it for less time than them. Which means we get less speed and less turbo build. But what we do is not crash. Grinding them all really early. So this time we're just going to float through here, wait till we're in the straight line, then turbo. Don't turbo early, because you might hit the red lava. I'm trying to crash into that wall, and that car's literally not letting me. I'm sorry. I tried my darndest to crash into the wall. Car's a paid actor. I mean, they could do this pretty decent. We're still going to drive on the coals because we have to assume that you can't do it decent. And if you can get a small drift in here, obviously do it. If you can't, wait till the turns. Tiny little drifts. Just tiny little ones. If you build less turbo, but don't die, or don't bonk, then you're winning. And again, we'll wait till we're in a straight line. Once we're in a straight line, then we use the turbo. We'll bonk on here so that it's realistic for this rank. Anything less than that feels like cheating somehow. Drive over the coals. Trying to. Yeah, we tried to drive over the coals. And just save our turbos for the end, and we're good to go. The difference is on that map, people still don't know to use the turbos in the tunnels. Alright, give it to me. There we go. Elite. Congratulations to us. Now we push through Elite with roughly the same mechanics as we used in Diamond. In theory, Elite should be faster. Considering we've been seeing people chain drifting, carrying drifts in the air, side flipping while carrying drifts. I don't know what mechanics we've unlocked by hitting Elite. Like, what's a mechanic that every Elite can do? Drive into walls? They can drive into walls, we can drive into walls. I kinda don't like this song on the playlist. This part right. Flip? Like front flips? Darn straight, Louis. Alright, we're gonna bonk into the wall because we still don't know how to drift. And you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna drift around here by not even pressing the drift button. The game literally drifts me. Like, that's not even me pressing the drift button. So I think it's allowed. In theory, we should be able to do small drifts on the side of the wall. In practice, I don't believe in anyone. So again, we don't feel comfortable drifting around here. Maybe we're going to do 3 small drifts now? One small drift. Drive in a straight line. Bonk into the wall repeatedly, because somehow we still can't drift that normally. Yeah, I don't know. 3 drifts seem to like a lot. Probably cheating. Again, we just drift around. The car literally, naturally does it. That was me without a drift button. Here, we wait till we're on the ground, and then you just press the drift button around. I'm going to skip this turn, because drifting while turboing might be too hard. Instead, we're going to drift on this section. Yeah, 3 drifts is probably a little bit too tricky. It's 1, and then instead we'll just sit still for like 5 seconds, because... Again, back to the bonk tech. We have faith that every Elite player can drive into a wall, right? Again, I'm just holding my left analog stick. I'm not even pressing the drift button. So I'm pretty positive you can drift it. Hey, Maple. We're getting Unreal with minimal mechanics, minimal drifting even, minimal anything. We're in Elite right now, and it's mostly we're just us driving in straight lines. We don't feel comfortable drifting this area. Only once we're in a large area with lots of space can we do 1 small drift. And that's it. That's all the mechanics we have. And that is still enough to win an elite. So the challenge is, if you're whatever rank we are, so elite, could you do what I'm doing? And the answer is for sure yes. Like 90% of the time we're just driving in a straight line or drifting into walls. So we're doing no fancy mechanics. Like we're going to get to Unreal with not even chain drifting. Definitely no meg flipping. No mirror drifting. None of that stuff. Just base mechanics executed poorly. To show you can get to Unreal without being very mechanical. If you just study a little bit of the roots, that's all you need. Where can and can't you drift? I think it depends on the map. So in general, we could do very small drifts. Anything that's even a tricky drift, I still don't want to do even though we're elite. And by tricky, I mean like here, I think we could do one small drift, and that's all we can do. That's all I believe an elite player can do. Right? Like drifts of that size. This size right here, that's it. That's all they can do. Just a few really small drifts, and that's all I think they can do. That's all they need to do, I should say. Mostly, we're just driving in straight lines. Again, we can sneak one small drift in, but we're only drifting for like a quarter of a second. The rest of the time, we're floating over things. So a quarter of a second, and then here, I have full faith in them to be able to drive into a wall. I believe elites have the skill to drive into a wall. What do you think? Again, quarter of a second drift, and quarter of a second drift. If I want you to drift for longer, I'm going to assume you don't know how, and you're going to drift into the wall and repeat. I'll choose one of our turbos. Again, quarter of a second drift. That's all we're able to do. Anything more than that? Very tricky. Drive into a wall. That seems like something every elite player can do. And we don't have enough for a turbo because we didn't drift. So we definitely won't be top 3. Never mind, that still gets us a second. So even with slightly more drifting, that'll be a first. But it's fine. Second still climbs us perfectly fine. Does that make sense, Maple? So only the smallest we definitely will. I mean, like, I don't know. Like, it kind of didn't seem like we were going to be top 3. Does that make sense, Maple? Just like really small drifts if we're drifting, unless they're like around giant drifting turns. Like, otherwise, if we want to do our own bigger drifting, it's just us crashing into a wall and repeat. I really believe any elite can crash into a wall and repeat. I've seen it. They have the tech. Might as well at least use it to your advantage. So around all the main turns, we're going to do very small drifts. Nothing big, nothing fancy, nothing that gives a lot of speed. We're going to save our turbos. Put one small drift. One small drift. Crash into the wall even. Let's bonk into a wall. So that he can be a true elite player. Crash into 2 walls. Again, just small drifts. Then drive in a straight line. Next turn. Next turn. We're not drifting all the way through or anything fancy. Only on the turns. And we're just gonna float through this area. Bonk into a wall. Because again, we're elite. We can't expect their drifts to be consistent yet. They can be consistently okay. Drive over the coals. Hug underneath this lava. This is a shorter line, but still very easy to do. And then small drift. Small drift. Drive over the coals because we don't know how to drift. We're only doing small ones. None of the big ones. Wait till we're in a straight line, then use our turbo. Drive over the coals just like they do. I have full faith that if you're elite, you could drive over the side of the road and bonk. Drive on the poles again. And it's not looking like it'll be a first. Again, small drifts. No massively long-held ones. We're gonna hope that guy dies doing the technique. There you go. He does die. So there you go. He probably had a second place. And he opted instead to try a riskier line, netting him basically nothing. And now, no guarantee he'll be second. We're still driving the coals each time we do that. Not really. A lot of the top players are either or. We're gonna drive on the coals because we're unmechanical and can't land that drift still. And that should get us a second place. Yeah, a lot of the top 100 people use keyboard mouse. Some of them do. Some of them do controller. Either or works good. But as you can see, just doing safe lines, small drifts, still enough to push through elite. I'm kind of in a rush to finish this challenge since I want to start the one where I get to Unreal without drift button. Do you think getting to Unreal without the drift button is too easy though? That's my question. Like, should I also do no air flip? Or is that too hard? It's getting into, that'd be literally like a no mechanics, but also still high mechanics. Oh, no drift, which means I can't carry the drift in the air though. Okay, I think we have the mechanics to be able to drift in this tunnel by now. We're in Elite, right? We can at least mess it up. Is that allowed? Maybe sneak a small baby drift in here? Something like that. Square path tech, exactly. Again, we're still not going to take this close. We're driving the middle of nowhere. Take it super wide, so there's nowhere we can possibly crash. Look at them just chain drifting the whole thing. You guys are cracked. Us? We got straight line tech. Zoom, 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 zoom. Oh no, we messed up again. Again, one small drift. That's all we're gonna do. This guy's cracked. Look at him go. He even knows to release it and then re-release it. This guy knows the actual lines pretty good. Yeah, Devin's going. I mean, not like particularly fast, but he's going mechanical. Alright, maybe we can get the tunnel right 1 out of 3 times. Something like half right or something. Like, you know, something like that. Do we have to be worried about them all ahead of us? Probably. Again, take it nice and wide. Doesn't matter if people beat us in the inside path. We're not trying to get first every single game. Top 3s allow us to climb. Not fast! I'm not guaranteeing you'll get Unreal super fast if you can't do basic drifting. But you can get there. I think we played that tunnel a little bit too bad. I think assuming that they messed it up 3 out of 3 times is a little bit much. So, maybe we'll do that slightly better. We're already 10% through Elite, so it's going not too bad. We're not losing any ranks ever. Consistent safe strats are working. What do you think, Louis, is more fair? Or which one do you think I should do? Do you think I should do the one where I spin the wheel every single race beforehand? Or, no drift button and maybe no airflip button for Unreal? %. That's not the number we want. Spin the wheel challengers. We're gonna assume we can hit one of those, not both. Oh, we forgot about our line. And they can all hit that now, huh? This still might be considered too mechanical, I don't know. I'm not gonna hit those. I think it's too mechanical. Same with these. I'm just gonna hit the second one. Should be easy to hit the second one. You have lots of time if you don't go for the other one. Here we're gonna drive through the lava, since hitting this line without going through the lava would be considered too tough. One small drift, and then turbo. Let's definitely not assume you could hit that every single lap, so let's skip it this one. One small drift in here, and then we just kind of float around. We're not confident to be able to hit those boost pads. I'm not confident to be able to hit any of these. Since we have all the time in the world of just driving straight, you feel confident in those. Driving up the wall literally is what your analog stick does naturally. And again, try this route. If you hit the lava, it's perfectly fine. I'm confident that they can hit the lava. I think it seems fair to be able to say that, like, doing the route, but literally doing it as bad as possible, is allowed. Again, we have all the time in the world, lots of time to think. We realize we need to flip to the side. Here, the car literally drives up the wall without my analog stick. Again, we hit the lava every single lap because we don't know how to take that turn. More lava tech. What other lava? I purposely take the route that has no lava. And then I don't flip in the section that there is lava. The whole point of my route is that I take a route that isn't near lava. Or the one that I hover. I hit it. Because I don't believe that that route is... Alright, good. 218. I'm gonna go check the Discord, see what times you were posting in the leak for that. Has the leak got worse or better? Let's see. Pedal Jumper 2 was 215 at the 50 to 75% range. So yeah, that's about right. All right. The question is, what percent do we want to get to tonight? You got a 207? Well, you're just cracked. Again, I hate this map because I don't know how to do Sidewinder or Anaconda not mechanically. Like, not chain drifting? Is that a lot? Like, what level do I have to do it at? Like, this is going to be a real problem as we climb through Elite and Champion, not being like, I can't drift. Dude literally just drove me into it. The game's out here hiring hitmen on me. Dude just took me to the shell realm over there. I'm gonna go with the straight line tech here and die. So I feel like air flipping or doing anything to recover would have been too mechanical. I don't know, I hate these drift maps because I don't know how to make them unmechanical. Like, you just drift. What's up, Jacob? We're trying to get into Unreal with low mechanics. The problem is, maps like Sidewinder require drifting heavily, so I don't know how to make them non-mechanical. That chat would consider fair. We're not chain drifting. We're not drifting in this section here where we could be. We're just gonna drive in a straight line. I know, but I'm trying to prove that you could get to Unreal without like heavy mechanics. But the problem is there's nothing on this track except for drifting. Like, I guess we can bonk. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do on these maps. I guess we just kind of have to take it last place. Bonk, so we can't drift it proper. Alright, maybe not last place, but I don't know what a compromise is for. Have you tried using chain drifting? I'm not going to chain drift. I mean, I'm not even going to chain drift at any point in this challenge. Chain drifting's way too strong of a mechanic. No meg flips, no mirror drifts, no chain drifts, nothing like that. Yeah. Again, I just don't know what level I'm supposed to drift. No drafting off players. Chain drafting players. Like, just go from player to player. It's the new tech. Yeah, but that great turbo management isn't gonna matter soon. Alright, we kind of decided what level of drifting we're doing in this map, and we're going to kind of stick to it, which is a few small drifts. So I'll drift 1 over 1 that's small, we'll bump into a wall even. Here it's a large area, so we feel comfortable doing a drift in here. Here we don't feel comfortable drifting because we're only elite, so we're just going to drive in a straight line. Once we're in the tube and it's turning, we can drift. So can everyone else. Here we can drift, we can bonk into a wall. bonk into a wall. So when we're drifting, we're crashing into things because we have to simulate what any elite, even the worst elite player, could do. Like, these guys are chain drifting back and forth, some of them. Look at all this drifting they're doing. Us, we got straight line tech. That's all we got. They're all even doing that shortcut. Yeah, so it's not looking great because we don't have a lot of turbos here. So we got a turbo up here. And we'll take a third place. So again, you can climb pretty easily without any chain drifting, without anything fancy, just small drifts throughout. It's not going to be always the fastest climb, but you will be able to consistently climb. And it will be able to get us to Unreal. Only use your boost on boost pads? I don't know if that's true or not, but there's plenty of spots that are good to use them without boost pads. Oh, I've tried it, but I mean, large areas where I have to fly seem like slightly better spots since, you know, I can't drift. Okay, so this has been depressingly easy all through a diamond with, I think, 0 drifting. I don't know if we're going to have to start drifting into elite. What we've been doing is mostly floating through the map. No down flip, the car just naturally falls on both those. Again, no drifting. Just driving in a straight line. And then right here, all I'm doing is holding the right analog stick, and the game naturally drifts. Alright, they're starting to catch up. It's probably because they're using turbos. Again, we're just driving in straight lines. Straight lines are enough to beat elites on the mini maps. Maybe we'll use one turbo. We're doing like pretty well 0 drifting. Like that spot, literally the game drifts you if you don't press the drift button. So you really don't need to be mechanical at this map to climb it. Do we even need the extra turbo? No. So, just 2 turbos, and really no drifting, kind of just floating around the map. We still comfortably win with by about 2 seconds at elite. Which really means that people don't know where to float on that map, I think. driving it's way faster. So they don't know what paths to take, I think. Yeah, at least gone pretty smooth sailing so far. Alright, what map we got next? Alright, Anarchy Archers too. I'm not sure we've had this map yet. Is drifting too hard of a mechanic at Elite? Maybe, huh? You think this is too hard to be able to hit this boost pad here? I don't think so, but again, we're just going to drive mostly in straight lines. We're not really comfortable doing anything in here, so we're going to walk past here and then we're just going to float in the air. No driving, no boost pads. We don't know what drifting is. We're only Elite. Drifting's a high level mechanic. Not saying we're not going to do any drifting. Maybe we'll do a drift here. Whoa, big drift. I don't think we're confident being able to hit that twice, so we'll just do it safely on the second one. You think any of this is too tough, guys? Not drifting? Kind of driving in a straight line mostly? Alright, there's a guy that's faster than us. That's good. Because if there wasn't, I'd be very sad, because all we're doing is basically floating in a straight line or driving in a straight line. We literally don't know how to drift 80% of this track. And you'll notice that is still plenty against Elites. We'll do one small drift. That's all we have the skill for. We don't have the skill to be able to hit this and this, so we'll just do it on one of them. Mostly just completely straight lines. Just floating around. Not going for any of the pads. Not going for any of the drifts. The dude's trying to take me out. I did not consent to that. I can't really do much less than this. Again, we'll do one drift. Maybe we'll do one more. But that's all the skill we have. We can't go for multiple boost pads. Like, it was mostly just straight lines, right? And this is Elite. Like, I think we only drifted for like a microsecond on any of the laps. Just responding to someone. I think champion will be a little bit trickier. You're looking at 58%. I'm probably going to stop before that. Alright. I think I've got maybe 2 or 3 more. We'll end it there. That's really interesting with Anarchy Arches too, though, that should probably respond to one of the people in the Discord, actually. Alright, this map requires a little bit of drifting. Everyone knows how to drift at this point on the basic turns. And there's no real option besides that. So we'll drive on the coals when we can, so that we simulate being a bad player. You know, maybe bonking off of here. I'm not going to do it every single lap. We're going to wait till we're at the right of this pillar, and then start a drift. Doesn't have to be a big one. And I'm pretty sure that elite players can go through this outpost by now. We're going to just do one little drift, and then we're going to float over the rest, because we're not confident in our drifting ability. And they can all hit that boost pad, but I think that might be considered mechanical. So we're going to try to avoid it, because it's an air flip. Again, all we're doing is just drifting around the main turns, just like any other player. Nothing fancy. We'll even bump into the walls again, since we're confident they are very good at bunking into walls. It seems like none of them know this shortcut right here, so we gain a lot of time back. We use our first turbo and go through the shed. Again, you wait till we're past the first ball, and then just do a drift, and then we'll just fly the rest, because we're not confident in our drifting. I feel like a fair compromise for elite players. One small drift, and then just not even trying the rest of the drifts. You guys got a champ smoke, by the way. Just throwing it out there. We're in low elite fighting champion players. Kind of annoying. Okay, I tried to crash. That car literally wouldn't let me. He just dragged me along with him. I'm sorry, guys. And again, so we go to the right of this pillar, and then just start a drift. We wait till we're past this lava ball, then we do a drift. You don't have to drift any of this. Only once it's safe. And again, another top 3. Continuing to climb. Yeah, there was multiple champ players and there was only 7 people in the lobby. That's really weird. Does the game really have so few people? I guess it really does. Only 8K people. I might be picking a dying market to go into streaming for. If I had 100% of the players as viewers right now. Look easy enough? Yeah. Trying to keep it to looking as easy as possible. Alright, so I don't think straight line tech can carry us all the way through Elite on this map. So I think what we're going to do is do a little bit of drifting, but not go for the shortcut. So we're going to do straight line, one small drift, obviously here we have to drift, because they've been doing that since Gold. And I think we're going to add one more right here. And that's all we're adding at Elite. It's just that little bit extra. I still think hitting any of these boost pads would be considered mechanical. So we're not going to do that. And I'm pretty sure almost every Elite player tries to go for the shortcut now. Again, just small or no drifts, and that's all we're doing. Mostly just straight lines here. We'll drift in the tunnel, because it's a giant turn. We'll drift a small one on the road and a small one on the grass. That's about it. And it doesn't look like it's going to be a great score here. Especially when they know the shortcut. A lot of them do. So I think we might have to do slightly more drifting if we're not going to use the shortcut. Because that shortcut, it saves pretty copious amounts of time, not going to lie. Still have to climb. We're never losing points, we're only climbing. When the new season drops, yeah, but that's a month from now, Jacob. How many people are not going to pick it back up because it's been a month? That's the problem. Yeah, I mean, we're still climbing. We haven't ever fallen. So the road's still going pretty fine to Unreal in the meantime. But it is very disheartening to see the player count so low in this game. I liked it when it was like 30k average players. That wasn't even that long ago. Alright, Puddle Jumper 1. We're going to drift into the wall. Because we have faith that they can drive right into a wall at this rank. One small drift, go in the tunnel, one small drift. Nothing fancy, no big drifts. Just driving in straight lines. Again, we're just going to drift into the wall. So we have faith that elite players can, in fact, drift into a wall. Some might even say it's their specialty. No big drifts. Float. Even though we're max turbos, we're not concerned, we're not going to panic. We're going to wait to use them at a proper time. Then we're going to drift into the wall again. Small drifts. None of the fancy chain drifting I normally do. We wait to use a turbo till we're literally in ISIT at the finish line. That guy tried to use it early, but because he used it early, he had their own line. We're okay wasting half of our turbo. You're not in a rush. Safe consistency. That's what we're pushing. That's all it needs. Yeah, still climbing pretty easily. Lou, you got clips going? What the heck? It's crazy. I don't even know how to do that. Oh yeah, there is a clip button. That's cool. Okay, we're gonna assume you can at least hit the wall ones here now, right? Like we're 25% through elite. Is there a single elite player that can't hit both those green pads in the wall? Like that one and the one after? That's the question. Is there a single one? The answer might be yes. If the answer is yes, it means we're not allowed to do it. So, let's not do it. Maybe it's too tricky. They could at least get one of them, though. I believe in them for that. You can drive in a straight line. We don't feel confident going for any of these fancy lines. We're just gonna float around. I think we finally feel confident flipping to this though at Elite. Maybe not that though. I don't know. I mean, they're all hitting it perfectly fine. See, this guy didn't feel confident hitting it. Wait, does he not feel confident hitting any of them though? But yeah, we're just driving in a straight line there. We don't have the mechanics to do anything more than that. Yeah, watching them all hit these, kind of painful for me to not hit any of them. But that's okay. We don't need them. Ugh, we missed. There you go, we can pretend we could try it at least. How about that? So how do you think we're doing here? 6th place, final lap. We get to a straight line, then we're going to turbo. We're in a straight line, we can't miss it. All we have to do is not move our analog stick. Since we're doing no fancy flips, we're not messing up. We're going to wait to turbo, since we're elites and we don't know how to manage our stuff. And there you go! A very, very, very low mechanic version of that map. Significantly less than what anyone else is doing. I think at some point we'll need to do slightly more, considering 100% of players do more than that. It's hard for me to believe that there's elites that can't do more than that, but... But that's okay. Our whole point is to prove that you don't really need to do much. Just safe, sound, beginner, like stuff that you learned in probably Platinum. You just have Platinum level mechanics you could push through Elite. Let's get a good map. There's a lot of maps we haven't got today. We've got a lot of the same maps. Part of me thinks there's like a rotation of maps that's based on the day. Man, the load times are kind of painfully slow, huh? Doesn't really make sense. I'm on the same region as the server, with good internet and good computer. I guess I'll use this time to do a friggin' shout out of go press the like button on the video, or like join the Discord if you haven't. Discord's been growing pretty rapidly. Do a lot of in-house races, coaching, teaching, fun stuff. Nice place to hang out. Lots of friendly people. Yeah, we're up to 86 people, and I would like to get to 100 by the end of the month, which seems super easy. So in fact, we might want to say 100 by... I don't know, maybe the weekend. That'd be cool. Hey game, what is it? What is happening? This is cursed. Oh my gosh, we're gonna have an Anaconda. I don't know how to do Anaconda not mechanically. It's an entire drift-based map. How do you, like, not drift? Like, yeah, we drift. Yeah, we drift. Like, I don't know, we could also not drift. For half of the turns, maybe? I think those boost pads are a lot easier than the temple, because you don't have to air flip. How about we bonk into the wall? Drive on the coals. Something like that. Bonk into other walls. Drive on more coals. Is that mechanical less enough? What do you guys think? I really don't know what's considered too mechanical for Anaconda. There's nothing really to do that's mechanical except for drift. Like we'll keep drifting and bonking into walls. Maybe that makes it more fair. Smash into this wall too. Like, I know I'm going faster than them, but like, I don't know what I'm doing that like makes me go faster on Anaconda. Like, we're trying to take these turns like super wide. Where is it they lose speed? Like all the other maps, it's really easy to pinpoint. They just don't know a route, they don't know a mechanic, they don't know something. Okay, I can see how that guy's losing speed. I don't know how to make that fair. Like, what makes Anaconda fair? Alright, let's hope this is a good one, because it's probably going to be my last one for tonight. We'll push the champion another day. Maybe later in the week. But I really think we're not doing anything that's tricky. Like Cliff Runner, it's a great one to edit on. We're really going to showcase that you don't need to do much to be able to climb. Just going to drive in a straight line, and then we're going to drift into the wall. You can't tell me that you can't drift into a wall at this rink. Do one drift around here, not even a big one, because we're not super confident in our abilities. We're going to wait till our feet or tires I should say, are firmly on this dirt, and then start a drift. Same with here, we're only going to drift on the big turn. I'm not going to drift on the giant straightaways. So maybe that's considered tough. Again, we don't feel confident drifting here at all. We're just going to drive until there's a lot of room, like right here. And then we're going to do a couple drifts. And this is all it really takes. This is elite. Again, all we're drifting into a wall. We're just literally holding our analog stick and holding it into a wall. Obviously, if you can do that without crashing in the wall, props to you. You're significantly faster. We're not drifting all the way around. We're only half drifting around it. And we're not drifting this whole section. We're waiting until our wheels are on here. And then you can't mess it up. Like if you just hold the analog stick, it works. You know what, let's go this way. There's a curve, we do a drift. That's all we're capable of doing. We can't drift any of this. It's a little bit tricky. So we wait till we're in a large flat area. And then we do our couple drifts. Look at this guy chain drifting in front of us. He doesn't know about driving into the wall tech. Look at him go. Zoom, 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 zoom. Look at us go and not even drift. And we're faster than him. We're doing it. And again, just wait till you're on the ground, then do a drift. Drift on the turns. Use the turbo when you start to get full on turbos. Again, drift on the turns. And still consistently climbing. You don't need any fancy chain drifts. You don't even need many drifts at all. Mostly driving into straight wall, like straight line or straight wall, is enough to climb at elite. I'm not saying you'll climb insanely fast if you can't drift without crashing on a repeat. But you can climb without chain drifting, without air flipping, without, you know, drifting around turns all fancy like. Just drifting on small sections where it's very safe and you can't really mess it up. Allows you to fly through elite. And it'll allow us to fly through champ as well and get Unreal. I think I said that was our last one, but then apparently I clicked play again. So this will be our last one. What do you think? Are the mechanics I'm doing super reasonable for elite? Just a few small drifts. Airborne 2, wow. This map is literally only mechanics. How do we do in elite a map that is all mechanics with no mechanics? They must be able to air flip to those. Yeah, okay, they can. We'll do that on the second and third lap. I think that's about some of the only drifting we'll do. Is right there, only for a millisecond. We're not going to go for any of the fancy stuff. It's a bit mechanical. They don't know that there's a boost pad under here. It's real easy to get. I don't think we can go for both those. It might be too mechanical. Maybe we'll do it on every other lap. Something like that. The reason it's spinning me up, by the way, is that's just my car doing that without me giving any inputs. Again, mostly driving a straight line. We're not taking any of the hard to get boost pads, because that requires mechanics, and we're only elite. We're just kind of floating around. Hello there. How do I pronounce that? Zol? Yeah, we're really not doing much, We're just kind of taking the safest routes. We can miss those, it's all fine. You know, maybe we take this one over here. And we save our turbo for the end. And we still climb. You have a question? Yeah, of course. Ask away. I think we'll end the stream by showing what that map looks like with mechanics, just in case anyone is curious on the stark difference of what we're doing. Rolling before they hit the ground. Do you mean flipping? Yeah, they're flipping down to the ground. They're just, you know how you can flip to a wall or to like the ceiling? They're just doing that except to the ground. It just gets into the ground faster. When you're on the ground, you're building speed just naturally by driving. When you're in the air, your speed's capped at 570. How to air flip? Like, do you know how to hit these boost pads up here on the right? Like, do you know how to do this? Because if not, you need to look at your bindings. There's a button called, like, air, flip, or something like that. Okay, well then it's just that. It's just that to the ground. Yeah, it's just air dodge. Like, it's just, here, look. See? It's just air dodge down. Is that what you're talking about? How it flipped down like that? It doesn't work? Sure it does. I'm just pressing air dodge. And down. I did show you to the ground. I showed it to you twice. I could show it to you a third time. Right after this section here, we will show you. So, see, we're in the air, we flip down. We're in the air, we flip down. That's the spin you're talking about, right? See? That's what you mean, right? Yeah, I mean, to air flip, you have to flip in the direction you want to flip. Otherwise, the game wouldn't know which direction you want, right? So if you want to flip to a wall on the left, you have to press the direction plus the flip button. If you want to flip to the ceiling, you have to press the up direction plus the flip button. If you want to flip to the ground, you have to press the down direction plus the flip button. Alright, that wasn't a great example of that map of mechanics, since we were reading the chat the whole time, and it's a pretty mechanics-heavy map. But we got to 31% elite from Diamond 3 today, from Diamond 2 today, doing minimal to no mechanics. Zol, if you're not part of the Discord, by the way, and you want more questions, the link's in the description. I'm wrapping up the stream for now, but we've got like 100 people in there, and everyone loves to help everyone else out. Half the chat is just giving tips and helping people when they have questions. So I highly recommend you join. Yeah, Plat 2? Also highly recommend you watch this series then. Like, go back, like if you have time, watch this series of maybe 2 videos ago, and me climbing from Plat to Diamond. I think I got there mostly just by driving in a straight line on almost every map. Like, no air flipping, most of the maps not even drifting. Just knowing the routes is enough to get you to the higher ranks. Like right now we're pushing through Elite with nothing more than like basic drifts. And only small ones most of the time. Okay, well I'm gonna wrap up. Anyone watching, press the like button on the video on the way out, subscribe, all that good stuff. Discord links in the description. Thanks everyone for your time. It was fun. We'll stream again probably in a couple days. We'll get to champion then. See ya.